to the Athletes Grind with your host, Ray Thompson, sponsored to you by Five Star Athletics. We got a special guest in the building tonight. We're talking to Javan Allison from Krop High School in Miami, DB. He plays junior varsity as well as varsity right now. Ninth grade, Javan, is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So Javan, before we get into the questions, man, definitely we greatly appreciate you joining us tonight, giving us a little bit of your time. But, Javan Allison, tell us a little bit about yourself. We've already said that you play for Dr. Krop. You're a DB, but tell us some more things about yourself.
Ninth grade. I love football.
Okay.
About myself. The things I want to do in life, I want to play football or baseball. Mm-hmm. Acting is also one of the things I want to do in life. And I'm a very respectful young person.
Okay. All right. And you left out the big smile, man. We see the big smile, so you left that out. Okay, all right. And Javan, you talk about football. Go ahead.
I forgot to mention that I am a published author.
Published author, man. We're gonna get more into that as well. Chuck, there you go. You see it behind you. Okay, all right. And we're gonna get more into that, Javan. But before we get into that, tell everyone how your grades are. We know we can't do anything without academics, right? So what's your GPA right now? Well, I know you guys didn't get a report card, but how are you doing in school right now? What's your favorite subject?
I have A's and B's, one C, but that's because a teacher hasn't put in all the grades yet.
Okay.
And my favorite subject, science.
You say science?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I can respect that. That's a different answer. We've never heard the science answer before, but that's different. And Javan, talk a little bit about your career goals. We know you want to play baseball, football. You're already a published author. You got a lot going on right now. But, what are your career goals once you get out of college, if that is your dream? But what do you want to do in life?
I definitely want to help my family and help my community. I want to make it to the NFL. Mm-hmm. Make money, indeed.
Okay, all right. And what about your favorite musical artist? Is there anybody that you're listening to as you're trying to get to the NFL? Who you bumping right now, man? Let us know.
I'm listening to my favorite artist is NBA Youngboy, because he gets me hyped and turned before a football game.
Okay, all right. Okay, now you got to tell us. Now, I listen to NBA Youngboy, but what is it about NBA Youngboy that you think is, that just gets you going?
Like the mood he gives off like thuggish energy. I don't want to be no thug, but on the football field, that's what I want to be.
Right. All right. Okay. And then what about any role models? Anybody that you're looking up to right now? Any football players? Any parents? Anybody that you feel like is a role model to you that you want to be like?
I look up to my dad because he was a great football player.
Right.
He could have made the league. Mm-hmm. He made it to arena football, and he was a great DB. So everything he tells me to do, I will do it.
Right. And I would be remiss if I did not mention this for our fans, our followers, for college coaches that's checking this out right now. Javan Allison is the son of Nick Allison. Nick Allison played at Dillard High School, was a strong safety, really great player in his time. And then he went on to Eastern Illinois, was a phenomenal DB, safety as well, cornerback. And then also what Javan just mentioned, he played for the Arena League as well. And I believe I have this right. They called him Nick the Quick. I was able to check out some games of your father. And man, when I tell you, when he got the ball in his hands, it was look out, man. He was ready to score the ball. One of the best defensive backs I've ever seen play myself personally. And so Nick Allison, we now have his son, Javan Allison. We've seen that he's passed on a lot of those skills to you. that we'll talk more about it. And talking a little bit more about those skills, you know, tell us the player you are. How would you describe yourself as a defensive back? What skills do you bring? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses?
A lockdown corner. Maybe my weaknesses, probably zone, but I'm also good at it. It's like to me, it's easy to play zone and man. It's it's easy to play man too, especially when they run in basic routes. And it's great receiver.
Okay, it's hard to beat you on the basic routes. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, you gotta show me a little something.
Oh, okay. All right, all right. And before we get more onto the football field, I definitely had to ask that question. But how would your friends describe you, Javen? What would they say? We ask your friends, your teammates, how would they describe you as a person?
They would describe me as a funny, silly, clumsy person,
Okay.
jokey person.
All right, all right, okay. And then, tell us a little bit about, why you like football. I mean, do you like football more than you like baseball? Because I remember you mentioned at the onset that you play baseball too. So what sport do you like the most and what position do you like the most in both sports?
Wait, I love football more than baseball. The position I love on baseball is center field, and for football, I love being a DB.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, we talk about you playing junior varsity and varsity, and we'll get more into that. But tell us the little league you played for. Pop Warner League. What little league did you play for, and when did you fall in love with football, and what age did you start playing football?
The little league teams, I 7U played for the Chiefs. Then for up until I was 11, I played for Miramar Wolverines, and then last year 13U, I played for Pasadena, West Palm Panthers, and I started football when I was 5, and that's when I fell in love for it too.
Wow, 5 years old. 5 years old. So you've been in the game a long time. You played for some historic programs down here in the South Florida area, Miramar Wolverines, the Panthers, and things of that nature. And I don't want to leave out the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they may get on me, so I definitely got to mention the Chiefs. They hold a lot of weight down here in South Florida, but you started at 5 years old and you fell in love with it. Were you always playing defensive back, or did you play any other positions?
When I was 5, I played running back. When I
Running
was
back.
7, I played. That's when I started defense. I played defensive end, and then when I was 9, that's when I started playing DB, defensive back, and receiver.
Mhm.
13U, I played receiver and DB. Now, still playing coach.
Okay, all right, all right. And now we got to talk about your measurables, man. We got to get this on because you're sitting down right now. So you got to tell us right now. I know you're in the ninth grade. Your body is still developing, but we got to know how tall are you and how much do you weigh right now?
I weigh 135, between 135, 140, and my height 8'5'9".
Whoa. Okay, 5'8", 5'9" in the ninth grade. You still got a lot more growing to do. So we might be looking at a 6 foot DB right now. So that's great to hear. And Jaden, talk a little bit about your favorite memory from athletics thus far. What's your favorite memory from football? Let's just stick on football. What's your favorite memory from football thus far?
Um, really, all right. For we don't go for memories. The first one was when it was on kickoff. The other team was at kick return. They got the ball. They ran right up the middle. It was gone. So and then I was chasing him down. My mom on the sideline screaming, "Go, JV, go, go!" And then I got him, caught him, and then she was happy. She got a video, but the camera's so shaky. She was jumping all over. The second one was when I was 9, and then I was on a punt return. That was my first ever time. I took it back for like 30 yards. It was like it was good. The third one, we put interception, my first interception. I caught the ball. He ran the slant and the go, and then I was there, he threw it. I caught the interception. And my dad said, I fell on the ground and nobody was around me. I thought he was right behind me. I didn't fall on perfect. I just fell. And then
Right.
the third one was probably from this year. But I will never forget, I almost caught my first interception on my first varsity game.
Okay, all right, all right. Definitely some memorable moments that you've had thus far. And before we go on to the football, I definitely have to ask you because I know your dad pretty well, and I know your mom pretty well as well. And I know they've been there for you through thick and thin as well, right? So talk a little bit about what it means to have that support from your mom and from your father. So talk a little bit about that and how that's developed you as not only a great young man, but also an awesome rising star defensive back as well. Talk a little bit about that, Javen.
If I didn't have the support, my dad, he wouldn't be telling me things, how to get better. I would be average. I would be below average and mediocre. My mom, my academics probably would be down if I didn't have support. Now that I have support, I have someone to guide me along the way to make it whatever I want. And I have my mom to help me with the grades I have, with the grades.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome to hear. We always need a support system, right? No matter how great of a player we are, we need someone backing us. And you have a big family. I know your aunt and your grandparents are there supporting you as well. We didn't fail to mention them, but you do have a strong support system back behind you. But Javen, talk a little bit about junior varsity and varsity, right? So you're coming in as a ninth grader. Not only are you playing JV, but you're playing varsity too. So you got to talk to us a little bit about what are the differences between junior varsity and varsity, and tell us a little bit about how your first varsity game was. Were you nervous? What was going on in your head? Talk a little bit about those things, Javen.
So, first varsity game, I was very nervous because I'm sitting here like I hope I get in. At the same time, I'm a little bit nervous. I hope I don't mess up. Then at the beginning of the game, our starting running back plays. He also starts at safety. But this game, they had a motion play running back, and they put one of the corners at safety. And I started at corner that game. So I was like, when coach said you started that corner, I was nervous. My heart started shaking, and then all my freshman friends like, oh yeah, let's go lock that up, lock down corner right here. So then once I got in the game, I was nervous. Coach was like, don't let it get over your head. And nothing bad happened my first varsity game. I almost caught a pick. My
Absolutely.
first JV game.
Mhm.
First, for me, to me, the difference between JV and varsity feels more competitive and more serious. No offense to JV, but JV feels like it feels like a scrimmage or a practice so far for the 2 games I had. That's what it felt like.
Mhm.
And JV is fun. They both are fun, but JV like it feels like more of a play around backyard, and then varsity feels like a serious type game.
Right, right. And let's stick on that, Javen, is because for some of the JV players that may be watching this podcast right now, going into varsity and starting right at the cornerback position as a ninth grader, that's kind of unheard of in a lot of cases. But you got that opportunity, you made the most of that opportunity. But talk to us a little bit about what it takes to play varsity at such a young age. Talk to us a little bit about that, Javen.
For one, you gotta work hard for what you want, and you can't just expect it's gonna come your way. Like at first, coach didn't think I was as good as I am. Coach, he was especially after the first game, he was surprised, and he texted my mom. Wow, he didn't know I was this good, and he was looking forward to me being on varsity. And then, whenever you get the opportunity, you got to make the most of it.
Right. Right, absolutely. And Javen, I'm going to ask you something real quick, man, because I'm seeing these huge hands that you're hiding from us. Man, let us see those hands, man. Look, look. My goodness, what? Oh my God. Jeez, man, you got some huge hands, man, to be a ninth grader, man. Goodness. Yes. Okay. All right. I just wanted the folks to see it. But Javen, talk a little bit about your varsity goals. What's the team goals this year going into the season? And then talk a little bit about how the season is going thus far. I think you guys are 3 or 4 games into the season, but talk a little bit about what the goals were coming into the season and now how the season is going for you guys right now.
The team goal coming into the season, which is still the team goal, to make the playoffs, to be, because last year, I think the last 2 years, they was district champs, and we trying to get back at that, get that again, and to make the playoffs.
Right.
And then so far in the season, not looking too good, but we're gonna do better. We 2-3. Our next game is Pace.
Okay. All right. Now you dropped the game. Now you got to tell us. You got to tell us what day it is and what time it is and where it's going to be held, if you know.
When we play Pace, I think it's an away game, and the time 7:30 on a Friday.
Okay. All right. Friday, 7:30. Okay. All right. All right. And we talked about what your teammates would say about you. But tell us, going into a new program, right? Being ninth grader, going into a new school, how would you describe your teammates? How would you describe your teammates that you're playing with right now? What do you like about your teammates?
I like that the upperclassman accepts me as one.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Now, just a bit about your training routine. I've seen some videos of you working out. I've seen your dad, have you on the cone drills and things of that nature. But what are you working on to get better?
No, my training routine: 300 push-ups a day. On the weekends.
Well, no. Whoa, whoa. You can't just go right by that. Did you say 300 push-ups a day?
150 in the morning and then 150 after practice.
Whoa. Okay. All right. Continue. I just want to make sure I heard that correct. Okay. Go ahead.
And then I like to train on the weekends. And also, what I'm working on is my speed and strength.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. And then, Javen, what are the things you talked about the things you're working on to get better, but what about as far as coverages, right? So you say you're good playing zone, you really like playing man, you want to be known as a lockdown corner, but talk a little bit about what routes that you love to cover, because you said you can't be beat on any basic routes. So what are those routes that you love to cover that are a challenge for you? Is it the post corner? Is it the fade? Like what routes give you trouble that you like going up against?
If you know how to sell a zig route, you can probably get it. Be them double move routes for me.
The double move routes. Okay.
The double move routes.
Uh-huh.
So if you know how to sell a zig corner, a zig, you not. It's gonna be a challenge for me. You gotta try to move my feet, hips, get back at that. If you could do like a post dead, that got me one time. It was like last week I played, and like if I'm playing on and you got a bomb, you gotta only the main way somebody would get me if you get me at the line. And most of the times I be patient. So that's probably not gonna happen most of the time.
Okay. All right. Now you're talking about some of the routes that you've had trouble with in the past. Tell us some of the things that you worked on for you not to have trouble with those routes going into the future.
Not to have my hips used to be a little bit stiff. Now it's getting better. Moving my feet, that's getting better. Being quick on my feet, getting better. Cutting, turning,
Okay. All right. All right. NFL. I see you doing okay. We're talking about college right now, but what's your favorite college? And talk a little bit about, hey, in a couple years, you're gonna have a lot of people knocking down your door trying to recruit you. Is there any specific colleges you would love to hear from?
I would love to hear from Jackson State University
Mhm.
and Florida State University.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, what about those two programs that you like? What is it about those programs that you like?
Florida State it was my favorite college, mostly because it was my dad's favorite college.
Hmm.
And Jackson State, Deion Sanders coach. Best corner. Best corner ever.
You see that
Deion
behind me,
Sanders,
right? Okay. All right.
prime
Okay.
time.
Prime time. There you go, prime time. And you're talking about the programs, Javen, but I'm sure you've looked past, just not just the football, but what is it going to take for a college program to get you to their campus? Is it going to take a good football team? Is it going to take a great campus? What about the campus life and environment? Any majors that you have in mind right now that you would want to major in? I know it's still early, but are these things that you've thought about?
A major, me and my mom talked about, me and my parents talked about majoring in research. I
Hmm.
believe that's science, something that have to do with science.
Okay.
And yes, the football team will have something to do with going to that college.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. And so, Javen, talking more about football, as we finish it up on the football level here, but tell us a little bit about your coaching style. What do you like most about the coaches? You coming in as a ninth grader, like I said, into a new program, getting some different coaching. What do you like most about your coaches coming into the new program?
What I like most about my coaches, they got they got this thing called DAY, not DAY, DAE.
Mhm.
Discipline, attitude, and effort. Three things you need to win a game. Football
Okay. All
game.
right.
And they teach it a lot. All we gotta do is apply it.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. And Javen, that's great. Discipline, attitude, effort. Talk a little bit about as we transition out of football right now. You have a day, your own special day in the city of Miami Gardens. Talk a little bit more about you. Authoring and publishing some books, but talk a little bit about Javen Allison's Asthma Awareness Day in the city of Miami Gardens. That's September 29th. Why was it started? What does it have to do with? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Javan Allison Awareness Day is a day where I give back to the community and I like asthma awareness. Sign books to people sometimes.
Started on writing.
I started reading.
Okay, all right, all right. So September 29th. So what's going to happen this year, right? Is there anything special you're going to be doing this year?
For Asthma Awareness Day,
Yes.
I will be going live on my Instagram.
Okay.
I am Javan Allison. That is my Instagram.
All right. Give it to us one more time. I am Jaden Allison. What?
I am Javan Allison on Instagram.
Okay, I am Javen Allison on Instagram. Go ahead and follow Javen Allison right now. And you have a Twitter account, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead and get that Twitter account out to go ahead and get that Twitter account out to.
It's the same thing. I am just make it football picture. Football picture.
Okay, all right. For our fans, our followers, our football coaches that are interested, we just gave out the Twitter. And Javen, right now, we're going to give you an opportunity to give any shout outs that you want to give, right? Anybody that you want to thank, anybody that is on your mind that you want to give a shout out to right now. We're going to give you the floor right now. Go ahead.
I thank my mom, my dad for the support. Thank my family for the support. And my friends who also support me and don't hate at anything. I support everybody in my family also on the things they do. My mom, my auntie, my sisters, and I think everybody wants support.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And Javen, listen, we hope that we can get out and see one of your games. You talked about playing pace this year. Five Star Athletics definitely wants to get out there and see you live and in person. We see some great things on film, and we're hoping that you continue to get better and make sure that you get to one of those schools that you want to go to, Jackson State with prime time right behind me, and also Florida State, who's actually 3-0 right now. So two great programs, but I'm sure you would be open to hearing from anyone that is going to offer you a college scholarship. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Jay, before we get out of here, is there anything else you would like to share?
No, but y'all can buy my book. I have a website, javanallison.com.
JavanAllison.com, where you can purchase the book, right? Is that your first published? That's your first author book?
Yes. The name of the book is called Pictures of Javan and the Three A's. This is the Asthma book.
Okay, all right, all right. And then what is there a specific ages? Oh, let us see that again. All right, the Adventures of Javan and the Three A's. Okay, all right. Okay, there you go. All right. Is there any age group that can read this book? Is readable for everyone?
It's readable for everyone.
Okay, awesome.
On my website, you can know more about me also.
All right. Give the website one more time, Javan.
JavanAllison.com.
JavanAllison.com for our fans, our followers, any college coaches that are interested. JavanAllison.com. Not only does this young man author books, but also plays defensive back for Krop High School down there in Miami. Okay, we got a Javan Allison Awareness Day in the city of Miami Gardens, September 29th. He's going to be going live on his IG. He's already given his IG out. Javan, man, you got a lot of things going on right now. Where do you find the time to do all these things?
Mostly the weekends, because the weekdays I'll be busy with school or football.
Right, right. Absolutely, absolutely. And Javan, again, we thank you so much for joining us this evening. Great job. We wish you the best. Hopefully, Krop, you guys get into the playoffs and win district again for some of your goals. But we definitely look forward to seeing you out there and continue the great work, young man. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, Javan, you take care now. Stay healthy. Stay safe.